Fisk unit. Fisk unit. What's good, y'all? Fist Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fist Schooner while you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Alright, look. I just want to say how proud I am of my football team. Despite the loss versus the Cowboys last night, I'm happy to be a Giants fan. I'm happy the direction the team is going. It is what it is. Okay, we went into Thursday night against the Cowboys with a bunch of practice squad players. Let's call it what it is. Normally, it's only the wide receiving core that's a bunch of practice squad players. Normally, it's like, okay, we know we have no receivers. Shout out to Darius Slayton, but we know we weak at the receiver position. But last night, without our two starting corners, without A.Z. Ojulari, without three starting offensive linemen, without Wan'Dale Robinson, without Bellinger, we still went out there and performed admirably. We didn't get embarrassed. We didn't get blown out. In fact, we got robbed. Because if you give us that touchdown, if you take away that CD link, because remember, we would have went up. We would have been up 10 points instead of 3 points if they don't take that touchdown off the board. And then on top of that, if you don't call holding, that bizarre holding call on Holmes, they don't score that drive. They got 6 that drive. Like, it's just like, come on, man. So at the end of the day, if you give the Giants an opportunity, referees, who knows what we would have done versus Detroit if they didn't take that touchdown off the board last week versus Detroit. We would have had the momentum. Maybe maybe at that point we can make Detroit play from behind. And once Detroit's playing from behind, we can get Jared Goff threw us 2 picks last week. We just ain't catch them. You know what I'm saying? We caught 2 picks on Dak last night with practice squad players at corner. So, I mean, we're good. We're just not healthy. We need to get McKinney back. He won't be back till God knows when. Adoree Jackson won't be back till God knows when. Ojulari won't be back till God knows when. We need to get our pieces back on defense. Kayvon Thibodeau came alive last night. I like it. This team works hard. They fight. But last night, it's just, like I said, man, I don't want to go back to the trade deadline, but that's why I wanted a receiver. Last night is why I wanted a receiver, because Kafka and Dable, they don't even try to diagram pass plays. Like, if you watch the play calling, they're so over this receiving core. And you can tell, like, normally teams don't change their offense when they lose receivers. They still run their pass sets and just hope that the receivers they have can execute the play. The Giants don't do that. The Giants have literally based their offense around rub routes, pick routes, the little crossing routes, play action stuff, and they're hoping that the receivers can get fluky, get open on flukes. Teams bite on play action. It's a conservative passing game to the 10th degree. There's no creativity with it. They don't trust them at all. Before Bellinger got hurt, we led the league in 3 tight end sets. It's ugly. It's ugly. And Saquon can't catch. Let's call it what it is. This is not an isolated incident with Saquon Barkley last night. I know everybody wants to blame Daniel Jones, whatever. The Saquon dropping that ball, when you want to be the highest paid running back in the league, you got to make plays. Did y'all see Christian McCaffrey make that bum Jimmy G look good When he threw that air ball versus the Rams a couple weeks ago. Remember when Christian McCaffrey jumped 15 feet in the air to make Jimmy G look good? That's what the highest paid running back in the league is supposed to do for his quarterback. So excuse me if I'm not going to give Saquon Barkley a pass for dropping a 2-yard route on 4th down. When I watch Christian McCaffrey jump like Michael Jordan to make Jimmy G look good for a touchdown. I don't want to hear it. Big Fisk he ain't trying to hear it. You feel me? But at the end of the day, you can't evaluate Danny properly. He has no weapons. None. Darius Slayton has came a long way, and he's admirable. I respect Darius Slayton. His story is just, it's honorable. You gotta love Darius Slayton because he's came a long way. Because he's been garbage for 2 years. And now this year, he's really stepped his game up. Nothing but respect for Darius Slayton. That catch he made last night on double coverage was impeccable. Shout out to Slayton. But he's not a number one. He's not a chain mover. Everything Darius Slayton is doing, this is what he is. This is his role. He's a big play guy. That's his job. He's not a number one, take the coverage, move the change. Those plays that CeeDee Lamb was making, that's what number one receivers do. When you see Diggs, when you see Josh Allen go to Diggs to beat the Lions in that final drive, that's what number ones do. You can't depend on Slayton to do that. Slayton is Mario Manningham 2.0. We need Nicks. That's what we need. We need a Hakeem Nicks. We got Mario Manningham. Wandale would have been a nice little Victor Cruz, but we need the number one. We need Hakeem Nicks. Eli Manning in 2011, Hakeem Nicks was always there. The third down conversions, the tough catching and traffic guy, he was there. We need to get Daniel Jones his Hakeem Nicks, his Plexico Burris. We need to get him that. But the fact that we were competitive, the fact that we have 7 wins and there's nothing there on offense is just a credit to the coaching staff. Wink Martindale, look, hats off to Wink because that game plan was great, man. It just our secondary just couldn't cover, but we hit Dak on every play. Wink Martindale got some balls. The blitz the way he did with no secondary. I mean, could you imagine if he didn't blitz? If he gave Dak time, only God knows the damage he would have did to that sorry secondary if he gave Dak time to throw. So, I mean, look, I'm proud of this team. If we can get healthy before wild card weekend, we're going to be a tough out. It'd be nice if Odell Beckham comes. It'd be great. But at this point, man, we got to trust Joe Shane. It pains me to say it because I don't really trust Joe Shane, but I have to trust Joe Shane if that makes sense. So I hope he fixes his receiver position. I hope he gets some kind of center, and we go from there, man. But I tell you what, Giants fans, if you make me choose between Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, I'm letting Saquon walk out that building. And I'm going to keep it $150 with y'all. That right there might be why Odell Beckham actually doesn't go to the Giants. Because he's not sure Saquon's going to be there next year. So I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, I'd much rather see Daniel Jones get some wide receivers. And Gary Brightwell looked just fine. Matt Breida looks just fine. We can replace Saquon production, but we got to get Daniel Jones some receivers. We can't replace him. We're going to the playoffs. We're not getting no quality quarterback in the 20s. So, it is what it is, people. I'm happy with the team. It's still a lot of football left to be played, but I mean, watching this offense, it's torture. It's freaking torture, man. It's freaking torture. But anyway, that's it. That's all. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.